One thing I like, I had an attic full of things going back to when my parents moved in the late 50s. I can't even move anything because I have a bad back. And he said, don't worry about it. He said, you take what you want, leave behind what you don't need. We have a crew that will take care of that.
Good morning, this is Bob Warburton. I'm with Dave, and we're at the closing table. We just purchased Dave's house up in Falkwoods area in North Wilmington. I just wanted to take a second to ask Dave a couple questions and see how it was working with us. So, first of all, Dave, congratulations. It was a pleasure working with you.
Likewise.
How did you hear about us?
It began with my realization of after my mom and dad died, I took over the home in Falkwoods. Mm-hmm. It had gone unattended certain areas for quite some time. I have myself a few medical issues that compromised my working on the house. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, how am I going to do this? And I was trying to estimate how much money, and it was going to be a significant amount. I mean, to bring it up to market value, new doors, new windows, and you can go from there. It had a new roof, but aside from that, there was still a substantial amount of money to be spent inside. So I had gotten a letter after I had purchased the house from the estate of my parents after they both passed away. Mm-hmm. I got a letter from Bob Warburton. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it and I went, yeah, okay. It's one of those guys that I don't know anything about this. I put the letter aside and kept it for about 8 months because I had actually had a business of my own, and I knew that every once in a while somebody would pick something up they need. A year later, you hear from them. You said, I got a letter from you a year ago. Well, that was my case. I called Bob and I said, you know, I have these medical issues. The house is too big for one person. I'm spending a lot of money on yard maintenance. I can't even weed because of a bad back. So I went on Google and looked at Bob's company. Found nothing egregious. Actually, it all looked very positive. I asked that we get together and talk.
What did you see? Did you see like information from other people, testimonials?
I had not seen the testimonials online.
Okay.
Actually, Bob provided me quite a number of testimonies.
Oh, okay. So you just saw information about what we do?
Yes,
okay,
and they were all very positive testimonies.
Good.
But in talking with Bob, just from the start, I could tell he was very knowledgeable. This was a unique niche business. That's the best way I can put it. Because the business that I owned for quite a number of years was also a niche business. I won't go into that, but I understood where Bob was coming from. There's a need for this, where people want to downsize, there's work to be done on the house. You couldn't really give it to a realtor because anybody come in and say, oh, well, look at these windows. I like this house down the street better. Yeah. So you need to bring it up to market value. You got to put the investment in. It had been several years that I've been there since my parents passed. I said, this looks like a good opportunity. So I got together with Bob and we met.
Yep.
He gave me an estimate that day, and it was in the ballpark of what I felt needed to be put into the house, as well as I recognized he's going to have to factor in a profit. He's in it to make money, and I realized that. Nothing's free. So it was within my range, and I said, okay, let's go ahead with the contract.
Good.
And then I had assistance in finding a condominium. I downsized. And actually, this is kind of hard to imagine, but all this took place within about a month's time. That from selling the house to my actually buying a condominium and moving in. And for an old timer like me, that's making progress.
I think we signed the contract
August the 3rd. Today is September 11th. So a little over a month, yeah.
But we also helped you find a new place to buy.
That's right.
Got you moved in.
Everything worked out fine. I guess some people might have the first trepidation, oh, he's not a regular realtor. Well, no, he's not. He's providing a different service. One thing I like, I had an attic full of things going back to when my parents moved in the late 50s. I can't even move anything because I have a bad back. And he said, don't worry about it. He said, you take what you want, leave behind what you don't need. We have a crew that'll take care of that. That's great.
Stuff that's in good shape we'll donate to charity, and the stuff that's beyond repair, when we do the renovation, we'll dispose.
There's a trade-off. There's some nice pieces of furniture. Far too much for me to take, so I just left it there. Okay. So they can find some opportunities there and still clean out the junk in the attic.
So we were able to take the house in the current as-is condition. You didn't have to do any repairs, and that was important to you, right?
Right.
Good. And it was fast. We paid all cash. Did we live up to the things that we promised you we said we would do?
Absolutely. There was no downfall. I didn't have any reservations to tread water. Everything's legit. They've got an office, a good attorney.
Anybody who's looking at this who might be thinking about working with us, would you recommend anybody work with Warburton?
Go for it.
Well, congratulations on the sale of the property.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you, Bob.